Hello everyone, it's Julie at Craft So Cute and welcome back. This is the first premiere video of a series that I'm calling Fabric Fridays, and I'm super excited about this. And the reason why I'm doing this series is because I have lots of material, scrap material, that I want to and scrap material that I want to start emptying out of my craft room. I'm determined this year not to buy any more product, except for like if I need more ink and stuff, but I'm not going to buy anything else until I can utilize almost everything that I have and downsize it, narrow it down. So this is why I'm doing it, so I can start getting rid of it. And I want to share with you that after this is done, this right here, this will end up, this project that we're going to be using our scraps and things like that for, this is going to be a giveaway. And I will give you an idea of what you subscribers will win. So let me just show you what I've done here. I've made a Scandinavian star out of this scrap material, and it came off of these rolls here. This was I think a queen or king size flat sheet, which I just ripped about 1.5 inches in long strips. And I just rolled it up. Well, I tea stained this one here. This one was a lot larger because I've already used it, part of it, on a project. And I will show you what that looks like. Hang on. I'm going to pause and then I'll show you. Okay. What I did was, like I was saying, I'm back now, but I'll show you. I started to make this, which is a rag rug. See? That I take my old sheet and repurpose it into this little rag rug. It's going to be like a little table runner somewhere in this craft room. I started this project years ago. This is the bottom side and this is the top side. See, this is the bottom. And this is the top. This was actually a lot wider. I did this strip here, and then I did a white strip, and I undid it because I thought, I don't think I'm ever going to finish it. But because I took out so much like this right now, actually looks good for like maybe a table runner. I might keep it this length. Anyway, or I might take it apart. And then, so that was it was going to be a huge ragtag rug that was going to go into my living room, but things happened, like I've said, you guys, if you've listened to any of my videos, lots of things that delayed my work. Now this was the sheet. It was a big sheet. I don't know what kind of material is, but it's a beautiful low soft cotton. I think it is. This was a comfy sheet, but coffee was spilt on it, and before I got into the crafting world, spilling coffee on sheets was probably a good thing for us crafters, right? But at the time I wasn't doing any of this. This was years ago, like 2013, when I spilt coffee on the sheet, and I thought, gosh, I hate to throw it out. So I salvaged what was left, threw the coffee stain one piece away. Go figure, right? Who knew that I was going to get into this late 2000, like December 2018. But yes, this is part of the rest of it, and I mean, yeah, so it's super soft. So anyway, who knows, I might cut this in like 12 by 12s or 16 by 16s, and give it away. You never know. But anyway, getting back to this project here, I That's the sheet, and that's the remnants. These are the ones that I've already, you know, stripped in quarter, 1.5 inches. And so I'm going to move this out of the way, okay, just to show you what you can do with your old sheets. Take it out. Even if they're patterned sheets, can you imagine once you've made this, how beautiful that patterned sheet will be? Making a Scandinavian star. And let me get this out of the way because I want to show you what I'm going to be doing with this. Now, I have already prepared. See, this was a one, pretty sure this was a one. No, actually, I take that back. This was they're 2-inch strips. So when I folded it over, it is a 1/2 inch wide. Oh, wait a minute. 2 inches folded over, that means it's 1 inch wide. Yes, nearly 1 inch wide. You know, because when you're ripping fabric, you know, even if it's inch or 1.5 inches, it stays straight for the most part, you know. But so I'll say that this was a 2-inch, excuse me if I'm stuttering Stanley, so sorry, stuttering Stanley, or stuttering Stephanie. Okay, so 2-inch, folded in half, and 1 inch wide, okay? So, and then the length, mine is a little too long, but preferably to not have a whole lot of waste, fabric waste, because this is the size of, once we're done, let me show you, this is what comes off of these. That's a lot of waste. So what I would suggest, cutting this down to maybe 16-inch in length, either 14 or 16-inch in length, and cutting it in 4-inch wide. Mine is only 2-inch, but if I had 4-inch strips, it would be, this would be a little more sturdy. It'll be thicker and sturdy because this is like a bit flimsy to manipulate, and I'll show you once we fold this. So for you beginners or people that don't know how to sew, this is a perfect project, or don't have a sewing machine, this is a perfect project for you. It's a no-sew project, but in the end I will be once I've made all the stars, I will be hand stitching with some embroidery thread. I don't know what colors I'm going to use. I'm just going to show you, I use these embroidery thread, and I don't think, if I do an ocean colored type of journal cover, then I'll use the blues and stuff, and maybe some yellows. But I was thinking on doing a lavender journal with this. I'm not sure. Here's a beautiful like purple, you know, imagine embroidery string. Imagine embroidery string tacked onto that in this color. Anyhow, when you see this lace here, let me just set this aside right over here. This is, okay, let me show you the whole piece. This is a beautiful vintage doily, rectangular doily. And I picked this up at the flea market. I bought a bunch of it, and I have it tucked away while I'm reorganizing my room. I'll end up digging that out and showing you some of the stuff that I have. Okay, so what I'm thinking about doing is, I don't want to lose this sort of beautiful edging right here. So I'm going to probably cut this down to like a TN size. And if I'm going to do a TN size, then I probably pretty much need just 2 of these. So it'll be one right here and then one right here. Let's see. Let's measure that again. So I'll have one. I'll have sewn one down here. Hand stitched now, mind you. This will be hand stitched. And then here's that point. I'll bring it right here. So this is how wide. Let me get something. Let me put something in front of that. Okay. So this is probably how wide I'm going to have this. Yeah. It'll be like right here. Hang on, let me just do something. Where's my ruler? So it's gonna, and then this star is gonna go like right here. So I'll be doing like 2 star widths. So all of this is going to be gone. So I'm going to make a journal this size. Okay. And then let me see how many stars are going to come down. We'll need for this. Okay, 2, 4, 6 stars. So a total of, ooh, that's coming undone. Let me tuck that back in. Usually when people make the Scandinavian stars, when they do this, they'll tack it in, put fabric tack in there to tack it all down. I'm trying not to be rough with this because I'm not going to tack it down with glue. I'm going to sew embroidery, something embroidered on here. It could be a bunch of little what do you call that, those knots, French knots on here to tack them down, to tack that down, you know, French knots. So where did this thing, hang on a second. It's going to be, so it's going to be this wide. That's the width of the journal. So it's going to be about that wide. So the journal cover is going to be about 6 3/8 by 10 3/4. So that's going to be a pretty good sized journal, but it will be, you know, because I don't want to cut up this, all of this. Oops, this was the wrong size. I have the bottom side, inside down. This is the top side. So it's going to go like this. And then once this is all, you know, tacked down, or before I tack this down, I'm going to take some of that material, this material, the big sheet, the leftover sheet, and line it. So I'll probably hand stitch the lining in here, you know, the inside, which is going to be this material, you know, so it'll have this lining underneath. That way it'll last longer. I don't know if we want to cover it when we get to that bridge. We'll decide if we want to cross it and put a lining in it, but I think it'll be a lot better to have a lining. This might end up being like a book cover or journal cover where you slide. I'll create like a little pocket in here and you can slide your journal in here, so that way you can use your jacket for other journals that you're using. Okay, so that's what that's going to look like. It's going to be like this. Let's just say like this, right? Even we can, if we don't want to get rid of the lace and cover a lot of it up, we can just do a row of it, or just do a row at the edge, or I don't know how we want to do this, like do it in a pattern like this. We'll see. Okay, so this is going to be a cover that we're going to be creating. So today I want to show you on Fabric Friday. It's 15 minutes in. Hopefully we can get this done really quick. How to put this together. Okay, so I'm going to move all my little scraps. We keep these because, you know, we never know. We can use them in other projects, right? So we keep them. When you saw that ball of material, I had to iron each piece because they were wrinkled and crinkly. Okay, so let's put this over here. Let's get you zoomed in. Okay, and now what we want to do, so what you want to do with these sheets when you make them, cut them into, if it's a thick material, see, this is super thin. See how, like, almost like sari silk. Well, it's thicker than sari silk, but maybe like seam binding. See how thin it is? Okay, really pliable. So we want to just fold this in half, right, like this, right? And keep one. I guess I'm going to have to zoom you out so you can see this. So you can see the whole length of the material. Okay. Let me move my dish out of the way. My little work tool dish here. Okay. So I can scoot this up like that. So we've got it, the fold down here at this end. And let's get the other one. Like so. Okay, before we start, I'm going to pause so I can go to the bathroom real quick. I will be right back. Okay, oh, that felt good. Didn't want to be holding it in while trying to finish it. Drinking some water now. Okay. So we have this fold side up here and one down here, okay? We took this and folded in half. And we're laying this project pretty much like this. Then we want to take this one. You want to do, you can do all the same material or contrasting material. And if you're using different contrasting materials, you'll have a pattern that's like this, okay? So what I want to do is take this one and bring it through this folded one, okay? I want to do that. I want to fold this one over, okay? Like so. And then take this other folded one. See, we folded this one. Folded this one, but we want this to be going like this. Hang on a second. Okay. I'm going to try and keep that folded evenly. So that one's going to go like that. And then take your other one that's folded. Oh, this is where we want to keep it. But see how I have these little fuzzies? I want them to be like turned over like so. Okay, I don't want to confuse you. Let's start that over. Okay, I want to take my little folded strip But see, I'm wanting my little frayed edges facing outward. So this one will go up here. So put this back in here. A lot of people, when they're working with flimsy material like this, they use like a fabric fuse. You know, they'll iron it on to make the fabric thicker, you know, so it makes it stiffer, like someone spraying tons of starch, you know. So now I'm going to put this one back underneath here. Remember, this is my folded edge. Folded edge is this up here. I'm sure you guys can pause and replay this. Yikes. Okay. So here we are with that, and then we take this next strip here and put it under here. Okay. Let's fold this up like so. Ooh. Okay. So it looks like we're forming a square, right? So we have this, it looks like a square, but we want to now take this end piece right here. I'm trying to straighten it out. See, it's very flimsy. And then see this bottom folded piece here? Let's see if we can zoom you in for this now. So this folded piece now is going to go underneath here. Like so. And then we're just going to bring these pieces in to where it looks woven. Just kind of scooch them all over. Scooch it, scooch it, scooch it in. See? It starts your first woven structure. I'm gonna have to shut my door. My husband is working till 3 in the morning. He started his day at 3 o'clock, so that way he can have the remainder of Friday off. But my cousin-in-law, his cousin, first cousin up here, the TV is loud. I'm going to have to go and shut the door a little bit, okay? Hang on tight, I'll be right back. Okay. I'm back. Okay, so we want to get this, see if I can zoom in just a tad bit more. Okay. Hope you can see that. Okay. So now, I think everyone got this, right? Do you think you can, did you get this? This part so far? Well, excuse me. Oh, I just had to do a little frog. Okay. So now, once you get this all like this into this little first woven pattern, you want to take this and you want to flip this. Just bring your pieces, flip that over, flip it over, and now this piece is facing that way, okay? Just flip it. Okay, let me show you that again. We started off with our first woven piece like this. Okay? Okay, and then we brought these in and we tightened them up. Okay, now we have this beautiful checkered pattern. Okay, then I'm just going to take this and flip it. So now this woven part's right here on that side. We're just flipping these pieces over like so. Because now my tummy is this is hanging over my edge near my tummy. My tummy's wanting to pull it. So, okay, now we got this part, okay? So we want to take, we've got 2 strips here, right? So we want to just take the top one and bring this down, okay? Then we're going to take this top layer, because there's 2 strips, right? And we want to just bring this over, okay? And then we want to take this top strip and bring it over this way, okay? But with this one, with this first strip, we're going to take it and tuck it under here. I'm going to push that top strip through, okay? And just bring that through, like so, okay? All right. Oops, I did forget one, didn't I? I sure did. Hold on. Okay, I think I forgot one strip. I did. Okay, remember we took this one and flipped it over here. I skipped one. And I'll show you. This one has 2 strips. The one that kept getting in my tummy. This one's getting in the way of my tummy. And you want to bring that up there. Okay? So now we've got one strip here, one strip here, one strip here. Now I've got 1 strip. That's how I knew I forgot a step, because I went and did this one too quickly. I forgot this one. So I want to bring this one up. Okay? And then now I've got 2 strips on this side, 2 strips over here, which are going to turn into 1. So now we want to bring this over this strip and under this one, okay? So we want to bring this here. Oh. If I had my pokey tool that my husband says he never borrowed, it would have been so much easier for me to grab this. So I'm going to use a needle to try and help me grab that, bring that bottom strip through. See, right here. And then we're just going to bring that in. And just tighten these little squares up, okay? Tighten them up. Not too tight to where you're going to make some creases. You know, like, or, oh, see, my tummy keeps pulling on these strips here. So I want to snug that up. That looks really good. So I'm looking at my camera. I'm looking at the screen over there to make sure that my square looks really good. Okay, so that looks pretty good. Now, we're going to take this strip right here, okay, this strip, and then we're going to bring it, let me move my pin out of the way, we're just going to bring it over this way, cross it over to where we're creating like a corner or an upside down rectangle. You see that? See how we're doing? We're just taking this flat piece and then lining it up, bring it over here, and we're making a rectangular, like a corner piece. So you can see if you're watching my blocks here. So it's pretty much like half the block. Like we just cut this triangle part of the block out. So you want to do this, right? Keep it like here. And then this is where it's gonna, mine is gonna be kind of messy and flopsy flimsy because my material is not thick, but this is what I want. I don't want to use a thick material because I'm trying to keep my cover that I'm making as light and vintagey, shabby chic kind of thing going on. Okay, so then, excuse me. Oh, today's lunch has not agreed with me. I mean, tonight's dinner. So we want to hang on to this, okay? And then we're going to flip this over and just straighten everything out. See, we're taking this and just flipping it over. So if you used like some sort of fabric fuse to hold your, to thicken your, stiffen up your fabric. See, I just flipped it over. All I'm doing is just straightening this out. Don't worry. Just practice, practice. These Scandinavian scarves, what I've done was stars. Did I just say scarves? The Scandinavian, I can say this. I think I've got too much coffee in me now. Scandinavian stars are I made into ornaments. For like fabric ornaments for my daughter's tree. So here we've got now that corner that was on this side flipped over, okay? And here it is. As you can see, I'm lining it up with this corner to see it's like a rectangle. Now, what we want to do is bring this down, take the same one and bringing it down and making it into like an arrow point. See? An arrow point right there. See how it's lined up on both sides on the gray triangle and this? This looks like an arrow now, right? Or a rectangle. So then what I'm wanting to do is now bring this and then fold it over, laying it on top. Just lay that piece on top of here. And you're just folding up that triangle. So it looks like that. Okay. So it looks just like this. Now, I am going to invest in, okay, I just said that I wasn't going to buy anything, but they will come in handy. You know those, the quilters little clips? That would have been perfect for this project. So I'm going to hold that down. I'm clipping that down, okay? Because now I want that to be held in place because I'm going to get my scissors, fabric scissors, and see where this line is. Let me straighten up my... So I've got this in a triangle, got it clipped. I want to snip this right there. Ooh, those scissors are dull. Oop. Okay, those are dull. I had just a minute ago. Let's see. Lay that back down. There. Wow, those are dull. I think I may have used that one for paper. So now I gotta see. So now that's what that looks like, right? Now we got this excess strip. That's why I'm saying cut your strips out into either 2" by 14 or 16" long. That way you don't have a lot of this waste. You might have a waste about that much. Okay, 2" maybe max. Not all of that because, whew. But we can use that for something else, right? Make ribbons out of it. Okay, so now that we have this right here, you can see that I cut that off. This piece right here, if I had my pokey tool, which I don't. Oh, my husband, he used it. He was needing to use it to poke something that it was in one of his machine parts. Something he was putting together, trying to fix. See, so I tucked it under this little first little thing here. See, if I had my pokey tool, this would have been a lot easier. So I'm just straightening it in. Let me get rid of this clip now. So that's what that looks like. Okay. Now at this point, before you go any further, I'm just trying to straighten that out, making sure there's no bulk. So that's what that looks like, okay? Are we in frame still? Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna just snug everything back up where it's supposed to be. At this point, a lot of people, when they're doing their stars, will take their Fabri-Tac glue or fabric or tacky glue, but it's for fabric. A lot of people say that our glitter glue works, but I think you need more of a fabric glue to tack it down. But because I'm wanting to stitch in some, what do you call those, French knots on here with my embroidery floss, I'm going to try and leave it just like this. So I'm going to be very careful from here on in to just not make this come out. So now we want to go, we want to do this side. We're going to take this one now, and we're just going to bring this down like we did the other one, and we're just going to go like this. Oop, line that up like this and make another triangle. Okay, see that? You can see on my squares, my 1-inch squares, okay, that all I did was from this position, straight position, lined up this edge here, and it makes a perfect triangle, right? So now what we're going to do is flip it again. We're going to take this and just flip it, okay? So we're going to take this and just flip everything like so, like this, like this, and like that. Let's see. Okay. Okay, so we have that. Ooh, that's why there's that gap. Okay. I'm just kind of snugging everything up. Oh, remember it was like that because we flipped it, right? We flipped our fabric over. Okay. So now that we got this triangle here, we are now going to make our other triangle point, like an arrow point, triangle. See how we did that? It's a triangle. Okay, here's the triangle. And then now we fold it over. Okay, lay it right on top. Like that. Can you see that now? I'm going to press it down. Okay. So then, once we did that, we do our little cut again. Okay. We do our cutting. So I'm going to use this as my cutting guide. Okay, and I'm going to go under here and just nip that straight off. Oops. And here's some more scrap. Ay, ay, ay. Now, you can use that fabric fuse, the thing that you iron on, if you're working with thin material like this, and it will make it stiffer, and you won't have this problem. Everything will remain stiff. Plus, if you cut your fabric down to 14 to 16 inch in length, then you won't have this problem, this extra bulky, floppy, flippy, floppy problem that I have. Okay, so now I got my triangle. I'm going to use my little clip here. Hold that triangle, this triangle in place while I tuck this in. And again, I'm going to now use my score tool thingy and tuck it in, and my needle to pull that down to straighten it out. See? We have this thing. And you know also what, when I was making this one, when I was doing this star, I had my iron next to me, so each time I folded a triangle, I just hit it with the iron. I just pressed it down, and I don't have my iron hookup set up here, so I am not ironing this. And what I can do is, once the star is made, then I will definitely take and steam this down and flatten it out with an iron. Okay. See, so that looks fairly well. Okay, I need to bring that down there. My star kind of looks uneven, right? But it doesn't have to be perfect, perfect, perfect. Mine, I don't want it to be like absolutely perfect, because I want it to look worn and used like this. See this? Not all of it is actually lined up, but once I start stitching and doing my little hand stitching in here, it'll look just fine. So now we want to start on the other. We're going to go to this side. Okay. Boy, I thought this was going to be really quick. So, now that we got that, I should have already prepared my iron. I wish I would have brought it in here, but everything is just, and I'm going to use my Miss Little Hen here, Susie Hen, and keep my needle there so I don't lose it. Let me zoom out now. Let's see if you can see it at this distance. Okay, now we did our two little points here. Yeah, I should have, it's okay, I can iron that down just like that. Okay, so now we did this other star. My belly really is pulling on this thing. I can't hang this because it's just too long. The fabric is really long. So please do prep your length, either 14 inch or 16 inch. And I think maybe 14 inch might be perfect. I might do one that's 14 inch, and who knows, I might just have just enough, not a lot of waste, but certainly not a lot of this, right? Okay, so now we got that, and let's just turn it. Let's just turn this now. See, my fabric wants to hang, and then my belly wants to pull while I'm working on this. Okay, so now let's go to this side right here. Oh, let's get this. I feel like because these strips are so long, I feel like all my tools are now just in the way. Let's just put that star there so you can look at how pretty that is. Let's take this strip and then go to my right and just line it up here. And that way you get your little triangle. See your triangle? Let me get that. Let's get you in a gray. Let's do this. Okay, so we're just lining this up. Okay, just line that up. And that's got your triangle, right? And do you remember what we do now? We'll be doing this quite a few times, so you'll probably, if you don't get it right now, you will probably by the time we're done. So we've created our first angle here. See that? And then we're just going to flip it. We're going to hang on to it and just flip it. See, all my material is flippy floppy because my material is super thin. So now we have this triangle here, and then we're going to bring this and create an arrow. See, like another triangle. Let me hold that down. Get these guys straightened out of the way. Trust me, if you're working with stiffer material, it will be so much simpler. So much easier. But I don't mind going through this process because I want to use this material. Okay, so now you've got a triangle here, right? You see your triangle? Your triangle here? And then now you want to fold this over. Fold it in. Just fold it over. Okay? Like so. Okay, so now we've got that triangle. Okay, you got a triangle here. And then I will go ahead and use my clip, oops, to hold that together while I cut this extra material off. And I'm using this line right here to just snip it off. Okay, set that aside, and then I'm going to now take this off so I could just tuck this under. So I'm gonna show you. I can pick it up and then use my thumb to tuck it in. See, like that. But only do that when you're brave enough to do it. I do it because I've made these. You know, I've made quite a bit of these Scandinavian stars for, you know, my daughter's tree. Well, they're for my granddaughters, for their Christmas tree. Something Nanny made and sewed. Okay, so there's that star. We're almost done here. So now it's just doing the same thing. Let's pull all this over here to make our triangle. Trying to get those off my tummy. Let's bring this over. So this is a no-sew project, and it's fun, you know. No-sew. You may glue it if you want to. Okay, so now we got our triangle, right? That's our triangle. And you just grab it and flip it over. Okay, just lay it back down. Lay that down. And there's our triangle on this side now, because now we want to bring this down, create another triangle. Like so. And here's that triangle. Oops. See that right there? And then we're gonna fold it over. Fold it, fold it. use my clip. Oh, I gotta get smaller ones. Hold it there just so I can straighten this out and cut this using this as a guideline. Nip that off. And so now I can pick this up, use my thumb, bring this in, and just kind of tuck that under. Okay. Let's tighten up our little project here. Okay, needle. Need to pull it through. Just like that to straighten it out. So see how our star is coming along? And now we're in the almost into the final stretch. We've got just these two left to do. So now, let me just leave that there. We want to rotate it. Okay, so there's our Scandinavian star coming along. So let's zoom you in. Okay, so we want to bring this over, flip it over like so. We're taking it and then folding it over. Okay, just like that. Okay, if we've created that triangle, see the triangle? And then what are we going to do? We've created the triangle. Let's just flip it over. Okay, flipping that over. Are you in frame? Okay. And then making us another triangle. See that? It's our triangle. And then what are we going to do? We're going to fold it over like that. We're going to fold it over. Use my gigantic clip for this. Hold that in place so I can nip this. Look at all that I'm wasting. I mean, I hate to say use the word waste, but I'm not. We can use it for other projects, but yeah, we could have probably had longer strips if I just prepped myself just a bit better. Okay, that's a little crooked. Let me straighten that out. There. And take this clip off. I'm going to grab hold of this. Lift up that little thing in there and then bring it through like so. See, and we've tucked it in. See? Okay. All right. Straighten that out. Yeah, I should have ironed it. Should have got my stuff ironed out. Ironed it each time I made like a little triangle shape. But that's what you guys can do after you complete your triangle. Like, just iron it down. Just hit it with an iron. Now we're going to take this one. Okay. And we're going to fold it over. We're going to bring it over. Fold it that way. Okay. There we go. Or fold that over. Then go ahead and grab it and flip it. Okay. See? Oh. There we go. And then just bring this over. I'm going to flip that, make that triangle. And then we're going to, oops, fold it over. And just practice, practice, practice. You know, it's really simple. Just keep watching the video over and over. Or, in fact, let's see. Did I get that pretty good? Yeah. I'm pretty sure you can just look up Scandinavian. Let's see, how would you put that in the search? Scandinavian star ornaments. Yeah. You know, you can do this with paper too. You just get your strips of paper and you can do this with paper. Scissors. Okay, let's move that out of the way. Let me pick this up and tuck this in like so. There we go. We're liking the home stretch, you guys. Only got two left here. Two strips left. Okay. Oh my. Two strips left. Okay, let's get her done. On home stretch, folding it over. Creating that triangle. Okay. See, this is super long, right? I can already, just by glancing, I'm just going to take it off right here. That way it's not in my way. Okay, so we've got our strip, right? Our triangle. Just grab it and flip it over. How's that coming? Uh-oh. Okay. Maybe I was just too rough in flipping that over, huh? Okay. So we've got that. We flipped it over. Now we're going to fold it down, creating another triangle. See that? Folding it over. And you know, my finger strength isn't that great, you know, if you've listened to my videos. So it's difficult to try and do tedious work of things. I'm going to remove that, pick this up, and tuck this in like so. Where's my needle? Did I just... There it is. Straighten this out in here, underneath here. Okay. Let's cut this little... See, I would have probably left that loose thread just because I don't mind. I think it makes it, adds to the character. Little loose threads, like these little fuzzy ends, like it's tattered and torn. Look. Okay, now we're down to our last star. Okay, our last little point, star point. So we're going to fold this over. Probably going to cut it right here. We don't have, let me cut that a little bit straighter. Just so I don't have all that. So we got that point. Okay. Then we flip it. Then we fold it over. That point. And then fold it over. And see, ooh, where I cut it, I'm just going to now fold that in. Oops. Where'd you go? There you go. And tuck that in like so. And tuck that in. And then we have our last Scandinavian point to complete our star. Almost there, you guys. And that wraps up our Scandinavian star. Let me put this pin back in this hen. Let me zoom you out. Okay. Here is our Scandinavian star that we've just completed. Now I'm going to have to do some zhuzhing up because, you know, just taking my new pokey tool, which is a needle, and just kind of pull all these back into place. Because remember, normally people will glue these during each process, but I'm not, because I'm going to be doing some hand stitching. Okay, and what I will do, I will take this and I will iron it, excuse me, you guys. So now, see how flat this is as opposed to this one. Okay, it would have been super flat. Okay, and this star looks actually a little bit bigger, even though I use the same size, but I think it's because each step of the way after each fold I was ironing it. So this star might be just a bit bigger, which I will end up making sure that when I make these stars, they're going to be this size, because remember, with this journal cover, let me get this right here. It's about the size of the journal cover that we're gonna make for a giveaway. This will be a giveaway cover. So it's going to look like this. We're going to need a total of 6 of them. Yeah. Or, who knows, I may keep them large and small. No, I think what I'm wanting to do is keep them this size. And then, here, let me bring this out a little bit more. If it's this size, we'll need 6 of them, because it'll be, oops, 1, 2, and 3. If it's this size, well, it can't work because it's going to be too large. So I'll end up ironing this big star this big star, and then entering this, we'll make like a dangle out of this one for this journal, right? So we'll use this star as a dangle ornament type thing hanging off this cover. So that's what this looks like. Let me zoom you in to see it up close and personal. So that's what that's going to look like. It looks really plain right now, but remember, I'm going to be hand stitching using embroidery floss for this. I don't know if I'm going to use blues or lavenders or do like a lavender journal with this, because you know, spring is next month. So hopefully we'll get all of this done by spring, which is March 20th. And this concludes, everybody, my first premiere video of Fabric Friday. So I hope you guys enjoyed this process video in making the Scandinavian star. It's a no-sew, unless you want to embroider on it. Or even you can take needle and thread. You can tack down buttons right here on these little squares, and then tack do like a little bullet tack in these little stars to hold things down with needle and thread. And then when I made the dangle, I had sewn the little ornament hanger thingy right around here, and it just dangles off the Christmas tree. So that's done out of fabric, and you can certainly do this with paper. Okay, you just cut your strips out and make paper. You can make a paper cover, you know, for your paper cover journals. So anyway, you guys, thank you again for stopping by on the premiere date of my Fabric Friday. Okay, using your strips. Get your strips out and start making a bunch of stars, you know, and include them in your journal making. So thanks again, guys. Thank you for supporting my channel. If you like it, please give me a like, comment, and subscribe, and share my channel. And also hit the notification bell icon to inform you that I have uploaded another video. I hope that everyone's doing well, staying healthy, wealthy, and prosperous. And what I mean by wealth is that you guys have your health, your family, and your loved ones, and your friends, and you're celebrating life to the fullest. And I hope that you are prosperous in all of your endeavors. Thanks again, guys. Talk to you soon. See you soon. Bye.